Bronco fans and football fans everywhere. Welcome to Broncos Breakdown on the MHRT Network. This is a show that is everything Broncos and brought to you with emotion, passion, honesty, and of course, my comments. I am your host, Bronco Bill. All right, guys, before we get into the topics of the show, I just want to bring everybody up to date. As of last Monday, the MHRT network is now monetized, meaning that every show that is on the MHRT network can now get super chats. So if you guys out there are so inclined to hand out super chats, every single show would appreciate it, as well as the network. We just thank you guys for being here. Just wanted to throw that out there because that is a milestone that was achieved last Monday. All right. Avatar, always the first and foremost. You are the leadoff batter every single time, man. I love it. Leadoff batter, home run hitter, whatever. Avatar says, "What's up, Broncos country and 2023 NBA champs, Nuggets Nation." You got that right. You got that right. I got some Nuggets tidbits a little bit later, but let's get right into this. Okay, got a lot of different topics, a lot of different directions. Okay, this one I am so happy for. I talked to several people, and they would rather have it the other way around. Not me. The Denver Broncos won't be featured on Hard Knocks this summer. Yay! Good. You know why? Because Sean Payton wants it quiet. He wants people to keep their mouths shut. That wasn't like it last year. And it was a circus last year. And Sean Payton says no. And also the NFL can't force the Broncos, from my understanding, they cannot force the Broncos to be on Hard Knocks because Sean Payton is I don't know, something about, him being, coming out of, semi-retirement or whatever from coaching. I don't know, something like that. But they couldn't force the Broncos. And of course, Sean Payton's not going to volunteer. Are you kidding me? When he wants everything hush, hush, don't let anything out there to tip off to the other teams what we're doing and how we're doing it. I think Hard Knocks is okay for some teams like Cleveland or, I don't know, teams that are in the cellar, kind of, so to speak, that don't really amount, to a whole lot. But Denver needs to focus. Let me get into this. That's what I'm saying here. Instead, it will be the New York Jets and Aaron Rodgers. Good. It should be. Aaron Rodgers is a circus himself, so that'll fit right in, especially with the people in New York. With Sean Payton's closed-lipped approach, the Broncos weren't about to volunteer. Like I said, they're not going to volunteer. That would be preposterous on their part. That'd be stupid. Okay, Broncos need to stay focused if they are going to have a bounce-back season in 2023. Absolutely. That's my point. Why go out there and put yourself on Hard Knocks and people acting differently? A lot of times when you're in front of a camera or cameras around, you act differently. You kind of you're not your own. You're not the same person. I mean, it happens all the time, and I don't want the Broncos to be that way. We already had enough distractions last year. We don't need to have the summer filled with distractions. Absolutely not. Not a chance. I mean, Sean Payton's doing the right thing. Keep your mouth shut. Period. All right. Speaking of Sean Payton, under Sean Payton, training camp will be more rigid. Good. It should be. Hackett approached training camp that was known as Camp Cupcake. You think? You think? It was Camp Cupcake because of the following. There was walkthroughs. There was jog-throughs. There was no contact days. Why not make it flag football, Hackett? I mean, that's basically what it was. Sean Payton says no. And here's what Sean Payton said, and this is what I love. Anyways, let me continue with the article. It says the no contact days, that totally backfired, resulting in a 5-12 season. True. Payton has said, and I quote, players need to get their bodies calloused at practice, and key word here, and participate in the preseason. Thank goodness to get ready for the grinds of a 17-game schedule. And Peyton also said, I like where we are now, end quote. Absolutely. I was harping last year on that Hackett did not allow any starters to play in preseason. How stupid. How idiotic. Because you can't get the guys to walk into the first game of the season and expect to be in game shape. Practice is one thing. You're not going to hit your own guys in practice and try and knock them out of a game like you will in a regular season game against an opponent that you don't really care about and you want to see out of the game. Not dirty. I'm not talking dirty. I'm talking hitting hard like a Steve Atwater would hit, or a Dennis Smith, or a John Lynch. That kind of hitting. You're not going to get that in practice. And Sean Payton is correct. You have to have preseason action, period. You have to have it. And we're finally getting back to the Broncos having the regulars play in preseason. Now, I'm not saying play all 4 quarters. That would be stupid. Because then it'd end up being what? 20 games a season, minus the postseason. So that's not even, fathomable. Play a quarter, play a half. There's only 3 preseason games now, guys. So you only need to play a quarter in the first game, maybe a half in the second game, and 3 quarters in the third. Then you're ready. Never saw that last year, did we? Nope. Never saw it one bit. Let's go. Madungus Creevy, welcome to Monetization, my friend. Love the show. Thanks, Madungus. Always appreciate it. Thank you so much for chiming in and for your super chat. Very, very appreciative. Thank you so much. Let's see. Let's acknowledge some other people before I go to the next topic. Graham, Tide Tick, I think I said, I don't want to mess up your name, but teams with new head coaches aren't eligible. Okay, I knew that was something to do with the eligibility of the Broncos being on Hard Knocks because something, like I said, something to do with Sean Payton. I didn't know if it was because he's back in the NFL or what the deal was. But thanks, Graham, for clarifying that. Really appreciate it. All right, my nephew Robert Marino says, on TV, you do things for ratings. That's true. You do things for ratings. But I don't want the Broncos on Hard Knocks. I just don't. I don't want anything that Sean Payton wants to keep under the lid, so to speak, out of the public eye, out of the other 31 teams' eyesight and earshot to know about. I don't want it. Yeah, as a fan, I would like to know what they're doing, but not at the expense of having another horrible season. I don't want it. And Sean Payton knows that's not the smartest way to go. And that's why he wouldn't volunteer. And I don't blame him. Why would you volunteer when you said you want your lips shut? All right. Graham also chimes in about the Hard Knocks and says, to qualify for Hard Knocks, an NFL team must not have made the postseason for 2 straight seasons. Well, Denver qualified for that. That's for sure. They must have a coach who is in his second year, on the job at least. Okay, good. Now, hopefully we'll make the playoffs this year and we won't have to be even considered for next year because I don't want to see it. I don't. I'm being honest, guys. Sure, I would love to see behind the scenes, but not at the expense of my own team. That's just how I feel. Yeah, I'm going to tune in to watch the Jets because I think Aaron Rodgers is an idiot. But anyways, anyways, it's going to be a circus. Let's see. Grandma says, and they haven't participated in a program in a decade. Good. Hope it continues for another decade. I really do. All right. Sean Payton's impact on the Broncos is already being felt. Jerry Jeudy is already feeling the impact of Sean Payton. Jeudy said, and I quote, he coaches me in every way he can. Every little detail that he's seen me mess up on, He gives me his opinion on it and thinking of ways for me to get better. There you go, guys. There you go. Sean Payton is a leader. He is a coach in the absolute real sense. He's coaching these players. He's letting the players know what they're doing wrong. He's not chastising them. He's not beating them over the head. What he is doing is he's coaching them. He's saying, okay, hey, you did this, you didn't do this correctly, but you know what? We're going to get you better. We're going to make you better. And Jerry Jeudy, in my opinion, is a standout receiver. He wasn't that last year. I mean, he made some great plays, don't get me wrong. But when the play calling was horrendous by the coaching staff, Jerry Jeudy is not going to be that instrumental. Okay? He's going to be different this year. I've said it every single show since Sean Payton is become a Broncos head coach. Jerry Jeudy and the offense, as well as Russell Wilson and every other player, is going to be elevated because of Sean Payton, because of what Sean Payton brings. And Jerry Jeudy just pointed this out, and I'm still quoting. I continue. I appreciate having a coach. Listen to this, guys. I appreciate having a coach that's that dedicated in really helping me to become the best player I can be. Holy smokes, if that doesn't speak volumes. If that doesn't speak volumes, and we haven't even gotten to the first preseason game, let alone the first regular season game. That to me speaks volumes. That Jerry Jeudy sees this in Sean Payton that he hasn't seen in any of the coaches he's played under. Things are going to be different, guys. I'm telling you, things are going to be different. No, I'm not drinking the orange and blue Kool-Aid like I did last year, but I am buying into what Sean Payton is doing. And obviously, if Jerry Jeudy can see it and he's on the field and sees it day in and day out with Sean Payton, everybody else on that team is seeing the same thing. I continue. Payton also said, end quote before. Payton also said of Jeudy, and I quote, hey, I'm going to be on you hard, and we're going to get the most out of you at the end of the day. There you go. End quote. Sean Payton is going to be hard on Jerry Jeudy. Why? Because he wants the best out of Jerry Jeudy. Because he knows that Jerry Jeudy can be better than he was and has been. And I totally agree. Same with Cortland Sutton. Same with KJ Hamler, Tim Patrick. Of course, everybody has to stay healthy. That's the proverbial, fly in the ointment, so to speak. But we can't control that. What Sean Payton can control is how these guys are prepared, how they learn, how they know what to do. That's Sean Payton's job. And Jerry Jeudy says Sean Payton is doing all of the right things he hasn't seen before in past head coaches. Hasn't seen it. He's seeing what a real head coach looks like, acts like, and prepares like, and wants the best for his players. I think it's phenomenal. I can't wait. I cannot wait. Cannot wait for preseason. Are you kidding me? In fact, I contacted my son, and I'm thinking about going to Arizona August 11th. Hopefully my son and grandson can do it and go to Arizona. It's only about a 5-hour drive from where I live in California. Go to Arizona and see the Broncos and Arizona Cardinals in Arizona on Friday, August 11th. I think it'd be great. Because I know the starters are going to freaking play. I know it. And I want to see it. I know it's preseason. I know it doesn't count, but it counts to this guy. It counts to this guy because I want to see the regulars. And now I think that'd be great. So hopefully that can happen. Not sure, but keep you informed anyways. All right. Greg Dulwich. Now, Greg Dulwich, before I get into the next topic of Greg Dulwich, Graham says Jets are the perfect team for the program. Absolutely the perfect team because Aaron Rodgers is a basket case in my opinion. He's a He's a prima donna. He thinks the whole world of the NFL revolves around him. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't, Aaron. It doesn't. You think it does, but it doesn't. And, I don't want to see anybody, lose their career on an injury or something like that. But I just hope Aaron Rodgers does. I hope he doesn't have a good season at all. Because why? First and foremost, the Broncos play the Jets this year. So obviously I don't want to be good. But, yeah. But it's okay. I just want Aaron Rodgers to fall flat on his face. Fall flat on his face. Same with the entire New York Jets. Why? Also, Hackett's on there. So, hey, if he stuck up the joint in Denver, I want him to do the same in New York. All right, Greg Dulwich. Now, Greg Dulwich is going to have an altered role at tight end this year. What does that mean? Well, Sean Payton recently named Dulcich as a candidate to play the Joker. Okay, which means that moniker is one which involves heavy usage in the passing game for a position which, in Dulwich's case, typically calls for considerable usage as a run blocker. Okay, now does that mean that obviously the Broncos are going to be run heavy, which I am totally against. Totally against. I don't want a run heavy offense. I want a balanced offense. I mean, think about it. You have all these wide receiver weapons. You have the tight end weapon in Dulwich. You have Tim Patrick. You have Cortland Sutton. You have Jerry Jeudy. You have KJ Hamler. You have all of these wide receiver weapons. And you're going to run the ball? What, 80% of the time? 75? No. This is not the 1940s and Chicago Bears that everybody else ran it down the throat. No. Yes, we do need run game, but not that lopsided. I've said many times before in shows previous, I want a 50-50 balance. I'll settle. I won't like it, but I'll settle for a 60-40 run. Why? I'll tell you why. Because if you have a run-heavy offense, let's say 75-80% of the time, the other team's going to know what you're doing. Now, it could be a ROP, run option pass or whatever, what it's called, RPO or something, run pass option. That's all well and good. But I'm not sure that Russell Wilson is quick enough at his age to get outside of a would-be outside linebacker or an edge rusher. Sure, he could dump it off and things like that, but holy smokes, do we really want to play that game? And I know, guys, before you guys all start chiming in on the chat, which is fine, go ahead and chime in. I appreciate it. But a win is a win. I understand that. It doesn't matter how it looks. It doesn't have to look, sexy. It doesn't have to look pretty. It just has to get the job done. Really? Do we really want to have 9-6 scores again? 10-9 games again? I don't. I want scores in the 20s. I want touchdowns. I want exciting games. And you get excitement with a passing game. Now, I'm not saying that we should go, 60-40 passing, although I like that. I really do like that. And I know you guys want to flashback, or some of you might want to flashback to Super Bowl 32, where Terrell Davis ran for 176 yards and missed the entire third quarter, and he could have rushed for over 200. That's true. But John Elway also did pass the ball in that game. And it was a run-heavy offense. You know why? To wear down the defense of the Packers, a lot of them were overweight. They were getting exhausted and tired, and that was smart. But they also passed. You can't run it 80% of the time and be successful, in my opinion. In my opinion, you can't. The NFL is not structured that way now. It was back in the 40s and 50s. I know, guys, I wasn't alive in the 40s. I just read about it. But in any case, it was a run-heavy offense back then because the passing game really didn't take off until Air Coryell and the Chargers introduced it with Dan Fouts. That's when it took off. And now it's evolved into an even greater offense with the passing game. And, of course, the rules against the defenders and all that kind of stuff. So I just, I want a balanced offense. I really want a balanced offense. All right, let me continue here. Um, here we go. Peyton said, and I quote, "The Joker player for us is not a receiver. We, meaning the Saints, had that at the running back spot. Those were all unique players, not just in the running game, but also in the passing game, which allowed me to do multiple things in play calling. And I think Greg does the exact same thing." End quote. There you go. So if Dulcich is going to be used in what Sean Payton wants to call the Joker, that's great. That's great. Just mix it up. Is all I'm asking. Just mix it up. Don't make it 75, 80% run and 20% passing. Okay, if Russell Wilson, needs to have a game like that, to get his feet back under him after last season, okay, so be it. But I think it's the other way around. It's the old proverbial, you fall off the horse, you get back on. You don't shy away from it because you become more fearful. Russell Wilson needs to pass the ball. And Jerry Jeudy is going to benefit from that. And so is Tim Patrick. So is Cortland Sutton. And so is KJ Hamler. I say pass the ball. I mean, that's what the NFL is. We don't know why, because we haven't seen the first preseason game, which hopefully I'll be at. All right. Let's go. Avatar says running game opens up the play action pass. Okay, you're right. Avatar, you are correct in saying that. That is true. My concern is twofold. First and foremost, we don't know how Javonte Williams is going to act when he gets hit. And I'm not saying act as in, is he going to be fearful of getting hit? Maybe he will. I mean, I sure would if I tore up my knee like that. I wouldn't want somebody hitting it. And I understand that, medical science now and all the technology that we have, people come back quicker and they heal stronger and things of that nature. That's very true. But my concern is this. You cannot keep pounding Javonte Williams 30, 35 times in a game and expect him to hold up. Yes, we have other running backs. That is true. That is very true. But my point is this, yes, you can do play action passes, and that's great. And I welcome that. That's what I'm hoping happens. I'm hoping there's a lot of play action. That's what I'm talking about, mixing it up. Having a running game, having a solid running game, establishing the pass, that's what I want. And that to me becomes 60-40. 60-40, meaning 60% run, 40% pass. I welcome that all day long. All day long. I just don't want it 80-20. That's what I don't want. That bothers me, scares me, because I don't know. We haven't seen anything, guys. I mean, Sean Payton, he's not letting anything out what they're doing. Not a single thing. And, of course, that leaves all of us fans, sitting on the edge of our seat, so to speak, wanting to get a little tidbit here and a little tidbit there. Well, we'll get that come August 11th at Arizona against the Cardinals in the first preseason game. All right. Robert Marino says teams can win a Super Bowl with an air attack, not so much with a dominant running game. I agree. I absolutely agree. I mean, especially the last several Super Bowls. I mean, you look at, let's go back to Super Bowl 32. Yes, it was mostly a run first, established run, continue the run with Terrell Davis against the Green Bay Packers. But what happened in Super Bowl 33? Remember that, guys? Against the Atlanta Falcons and Dan Reeves? What happened? It ended up being a pass attack. Why? In my opinion, because the Falcons looked at what the Broncos did against the Packers and said, we're stopping Terrell Davis. We're putting 90% of the focus on Terrell Davis. Good. Because John Elway just blew your doors off, dude, and hit Rod Smith for that huge touchdown and then just ran away with the game. And ultimately, John Elway was named MVP of the Super Bowl 33 accordingly because it was a pass attack. That's what I'm talking about, guys. You have to be able to mix it up. You have to be able to, throw the ball. And you have to, I mean, sure, you got to run the ball. I mean, you can't be 80-20 passing. That's not going to work either. That's why I'm calling for a 60-40. I'm calling for a 60-40. 60 run, 40 pass. That's what I want Sean Payton to do. I don't know. I'm not a coach. I don't know how to orchestrate it, but that's what I want. Hopefully that's the case. All right. Let's see. Robert Marino says the AFC West is a pass-heavy division. Yes, it is. Well, come on. You got Patrick Mahomes that can throw the ball like this and hit the receiver 20 yards down the field. I mean, a guy is ridiculously good. Ridiculously good. Then you got Herbert, who can, throw a football through the eye of a needle, so to speak. I mean, a guy is just accurate as all get out. Garoppolo in Vegas, not so much. Not so much. I'm not a Garoppolo fan. I'm not a Vegas fan either. Definitely not a Raider fan. So what does that mean? That means that Russell Wilson needs to elevate and step up his game, which I think he's going to do. I really do. Under Sean Payton. And I'll tell you this, guys, if he doesn't perform in, first quarter of the season, first 4 games, do you think for one moment that Sean Payton is not going to bench him? I mean, if the Broncos go, 0-4 or 1-3, and Wilson has thrown, 3 or 4 interceptions in those 4 games, you think Payton's going to stick with him? I don't. I think he'll just switch over to Stidham. Why not? Why not? Not that I want that to happen. I'm just saying the what if. Sean Payton is going to make the best move for the Broncos. And Russell Wilson had better step up his game this year. He had better step up his game, and he had better listen to what Sean Payton is teaching. Because if he doesn't, the only thing that Russell Wilson is going to be learning is how hard that bench is sitting down and not playing. Okay? I mean, that's just my opinion. Sean Payton owes nothing to Russell Wilson. He owes everything to the Denver Broncos. All right. Avatar says, I will even go 55-45 run versus pass. Yeah, I've thought of that too. And I've mentioned that before in previous shows that I really want to be more 55-45. I just think it's 60-40 is more realistic because that's what Sean Payton he's talking about. He wants it to be a run, a running team. He brought in some guys. He along with George Payton brought in some guys that to shore up the offensive line. You brought in some the running back from Pyrene from Kansas City, to supplement Devontae Williams. So it's going to be a run first offense. I just don't want it to be predominantly run first. I want it to be balanced. But I do like the fact, Avatar, that you agree with me at 55-45. That's what I really like. I like that the best. I'm not sure it's going to stand out, but that's what I want. I will take, like I said, the worst case scenario is 60-40. Anything beyond that, and now you're having too big of a gap. That's not beneficial, in my opinion, down the road. All right? Speaking of Russell Wilson, the title of the show was Russell Wilson ranked one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. And I'm a little irritated at this. And I'm going to get into a lot of reasons why I'm irritated. Okay? Russell Wilson, according to Natalie Miller of Touchdown Wire, recently ranked all 32 projected starting quarterbacks and placed Russell Wilson 25th, 8th worst in the NFL. Come on, Natalie. Are you kidding me? Seriously? You're freaking kidding me, right? What are you basing this on? Last year? Okay, last year you can't place all of the blame on Wilson. You can't. And I know it's a what have you done for me lately league. So freaking what? You can't put all your eggs in one basket on Russell Wilson's head. You can't. The coaching staff was horrendous. The play calling was pathetic. Yes, Russell Wilson has to execute the plays that are being called. But holy smokes, man. If they're horrible play calls and Russell Wilson is thrust into a bad situation, how is that on him? It goes back to the head coach and Nathaniel I suck Hackett. That's what it goes back to. It goes back to the head coach. Russell Wilson had a bad year, okay? Like I've said many times before, get over it, guys. Get freaking over it. That was last year. It's not going to happen again this year. I guarantee it. I absolutely guarantee. I'll tell you something right now, guys. Mark my words. If the Broncos end up with just 5 wins and they don't have more than 5 wins this year, I will, let's see. I got to think of what I'll do. I don't know. Let me think about it, but I will do something. You guys hold my feet to the fire. Cause I'll end up doing something on this show that is like, I'll wear a Charger hat or something stupid, or whatever, but that's not going to happen in my opinion. That's not going to happen. But being ranked 25th, let me continue. Patrick Mahomes obviously is number 1. Justin Herbert, number 5. Okay. Well, we're talking about the AFC West. So Patrick Mahomes is first, Justin Herbert ranked 5th, and Jimmy Garoppolo 26th, 1 place behind Wilson. And that's the way it should be. Garoppolo sucks. I mean, he's, in my opinion, I never liked the guy. I never liked him. Okay. Quarterbacks above Wilson, to name a few, are CJ Stroud. Come on, really? CJ Stroud? Kenny Pickett? Mac Jones? Bryce Young? And Brock Purdy. The only one on there that I would say is legit is Brock Purdy because he can't. But wait a minute, guys. You got to think about who their coaches are. Who are their coaches? Well, Brock Purdy, San Francisco. Hello. Kyle Shanahan. I mean, there you go. Kyle Shanahan. Enough said. Enough said. I mean, Mac Jones of New England. Okay, you got Belichick. Okay, another great head coach. That's my point I'm trying to make, guys. I'm sick and tired of people jumping on the Russell Wilson, I can't stand him, hate train, and lambasting him because he had a horrible season. Yes, he did, but it's the coaching staff that made it that bad. Absolutely made it that bad. All you got to do is go across the league and look at quarterbacks who have failed because their head coaches were morons and sucked. It happens all the time. Belichick gets wins because Belichick is good. He gets the best out of his quarterbacks. He gets the best out of his team. Mike Shanahan got the best out of the Broncos. Back-to-back Super Bowl, 32-33. That's the point I'm making. And if you continue to bash on Russell Wilson because you say he wasn't that good, he wasn't that good of a quarterback, is not taking the whole picture into focus. You're focusing on, well, it's all Russell Wilson. No, it wasn't. It wasn't all Russell Wilson. And it's not going to be that way this coming year. I can't emphasize that enough, guys. I can't. Now, in conjunction with what Natalie Miller said about Russell Wilson, listen to this. Natalie Wood of Touchdown Wire has ranked the Denver Broncos as the 4th worst team in the NFL at number 29. All right, I give up. She's basing everything on 1 year. You can't do that. Now, yes, the Broncos as a team have been bad for the last 6 years. Okay, so I'll give her a little bit of slack on that. But when it comes to Russell Wilson, I ain't giving her any slack. None whatsoever. Absolutely none. Because it's not warranted. It's not warranted. Now, this is a little bit more warranted. I continue. Her comment is, and I quote, "The Russell Wilson experiment in Denver last year was a disaster. Now the Broncos are pushing all of their chips in, hoping new head coach Sean Payton can save their quarterback. The Denver defense is stout, but Wilson looked completely cooked last year. If Sean Payton, can get something out of Russell, Denver could quickly rise in the rankings," end quote. Well, there you just said it, Natalie. You just said it. You just said it. You said that they could rise under Sean Payton if Sean Payton can get, better, can get Russell Wilson better. Well, there you just said it. So now you're contradicting yourself. You're saying the Broncos are the worst or fourth worst team in the NFL. And now you're saying, well, they can rise quickly if Sean Payton can turn Russell Wilson around. I've been saying that the entire time. Why are you going back, Natalie? Why are you going back and talking about last year when last year is over and done with? You can't go back in time. And what frustrates me about this and just angers me to no end is they keep harping on last year. Okay, well, why don't you throw stones at Nathaniel Hackett? Because he was the orchestrator of that whole debacle. And it started in Seattle. And it continued all the way until he got fired. And oh, by the way, the last two games the Broncos played, they went 1-1. They should have beaten we should have beaten Kansas City. We lost by 3. Then we turned around the following week to end the season and beat the Chargers. Why? Because we didn't have Hackett as a head coach making stupid calls or not knowing when to, call timeout or calling timeout when he shouldn't have. It's just a mess, guys. Just a mess. I wish all the best. I wish all the best in New York. Yeah. Anyways, I know he's not the head coach, but still, it just angers me. Just angers me and frustrates me that they will not let Russell Wilson and last year go. I can't wait for this. I hope the Broncos win 10 games, go to the playoffs, and shut these idiots up. Then what are they going to say? Oh, well, well, of course it's all Sean Payton. Well, of course it's all Sean Payton and Russell Wilson and the entire team. But if they have nothing good to say about Russell Wilson because they're harping on last year, I hope they have to eat their words. I hope they have to swallow whatever paper they're writing it on. I do. I hope they have to eat their words so bad that, they get sick. Absolutely. I mean, I'm just done with these people. All right. Jerry Jeudy. NFL's Nick Shook put together an all-under, it's another snub, an all-under 25 age team, and Jerry Jeudy wasn't on the list. Okay, he didn't have a phenomenal, again, we go back to last year. He did not really have a really good last year. Why? Because Russell Wilson wasn't passing the ball, and when he was, it was just a mess last year. Okay, but Jerry Jeudy's not considered as one of the best receivers at an age under the 25. Who's writing this stuff? Nick Shook. What are you serious? Again, you're basing it on 1 year. Now, Jerry Jeudy. There's been a lot of talk in the offseason that they're going to trade him and this, that, and the other thing, but they're not. They optioned his 5th-year contract, which is the smartest move because under Sean Payton, he's going to be an elite receiver. There is no doubt in my mind that he is not going to be an elite receiver. Absolutely, he's going to be. And it's going to happen this year because things are now different. All right. However, Patrick Surtain is on that list. Well, rightfully so. Patrick Surtain is a shutdown corner. There is no question about it. Absolutely no question about it. While it's true that Jeudy didn't have a terrific season in 2022, that wasn't all his fault. And it wasn't all his fault. The play calling dictated that it wasn't going to go to Jeudy, or it may have, or whatever. It just didn't dictate to benefit Jerry Jeudy. Jeudy has a lot of potential, and that will become a reality under Sean Payton. I say Jeudy will open up some people's eyes in 2023. Absolutely. I totally agree. Jerry Jeudy is going to have a breakout year. In my opinion, Jerry Jeudy is going to have a breakout year. He's working hard. Sean Payton is working him hard. He's not going to give up on Jerry Jeudy. And Jerry Jeudy is eating and swallowing and breathing and sleeping everything that Sean Payton is saying. Why? Because Jerry Jeudy wants to be the best he can be. And Sean Payton wants him to be the best he can be. And that's what I'm excited about. I'm totally excited about it. I love Jerry Jeudy. The guy's got great hands. He has phenomenal moves. I mean, the guy will fake you out of your own skin. The guy is that good. And he's electric. And under Sean Payton, he's only going to get better. He's only going to get better. All right. Okay. Robert Marino says, last year is all you can go on. It's the most recent product. Okay. Robert, I agree with you to a point. Yes, it is the most recent you can go on, but you have to look at the bigger picture. You have to. You have to look at why it was different. I mean, I can't stand Pete Carroll. I don't like the guy's attitude, but the guy is a really good head coach, and he got good results out of Russell Wilson in Seattle. He goes to Denver, and Nathaniel Hackett is a joke of a head coach. He has no idea what he's doing. He's basically doing, hopscotch and skip rope in practice, thinking that's going to make the players better. I mean, it's just, it's a whole domino effect that happened. And Russell Wilson is the scapegoat. And that pisses me off. It absolutely does. Because it's not warranted. It's not legit. Yes, he had a bad year. Yes, he was injured. Yes, he played during injuries and things of that nature. But it starts from the top. And I'm not talking about the ownership and the GM. It starts from the head coach. And the head coach has to take responsibility for why the Broncos sucked. And finally, George Payton said enough's enough. And he fired him with 2 games to go. And then Denver goes 500 in the last 2 games and should have gone 1,000. We should have won both games. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, it is based on what you did for me lately. But in this case, it's not Russell Wilson. Now, if Russell Wilson goes out and has another horrible year under Sean Payton, okay, then it's all on Russell Wilson. I will give you that, Bobby. I will give you that. But that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we don't know. And you cannot throw everything that Russell Wilson has done his entire career on one bad year. That would be like saying that Tom Brady, because he had a bad year last year in Tampa Bay, that Tom Brady, he sucks. No, he doesn't. And neither does Russell Wilson. Now, I'm not saying that Russell Wilson is another Tom Brady. That would be preposterous to say that, and I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, yes, you could have a bad year. And in Tom Brady's situation, I mean, the guy was what, 45? So, okay, I mean, it's 10 years older than Russell Wilson. So let's just wait and see what he does under Sean Payton, okay? Let's not throw stones, at last year. Let's move forward and let's say, okay, if he has the same type of performance, then yes, it is all on Russell Wilson. I just don't buy into that. I really don't buy into that. I think things are going to be a whole lot better. Absolutely, a whole lot better. Okay. Patrick Surtain. Now, Patrick Surtain is considered as the best cornerback in the NFL by NFL insiders. I totally agree. Absolutely agree. Patrick Surtain was a brilliant, brilliant draft choice. And when I saw the fact that we had the availability to draft him when we did, oh my gosh, I was jumping up and down going, please, please, please get him. Because I knew he would be good. I knew he'd be good. He's not good. He's excellent. He's outstanding. He is Pro Bowl caliber, no doubt. And he's the best corner in the NFL. His rookie year produced 4 interceptions, 1 return for a touchdown, and 14 passes defensed. Now, that doesn't mean that the receiver got the ball in his hands or something. I mean, they could go that route. But what I'm referring to when it talks about 14 passes defensed is that he got his hands on the receiver, on the receiver's hands. The receiver had the ball in his hands. He knocked him down and dislodged the ball, whatever it was. 14 of those Patrick Surtain did. And to me, that is amazing. He's only going to get better. He's only going to get better. I think he's 23 years old. He's only going to get better. I continue. Now he's being looked at as a possible, ready for this, guys? And I think it can happen. Now he's being looked at as a possible NFL MVP. not just the Broncos MVP, but the entire NFL league. That's what he's being looked at. Now, most of the time, MVPs go to the quarterbacks, and rightfully so. I mean, if they're having a phenomenal year and they're throwing, 35, 40 touchdowns a year and maybe 10 interceptions and, 4,500, 4,800 yards passing, yeah, they're going to be considered. But I think Patrick Surtain needs to also be considered. He's an amazing, outstanding corner. Justin Simmons doesn't have to, look over his shoulder and go, I wonder if I have to go over the top and help out Patrick Surtain. He doesn't have to think that at all. He may on occasion, depending on, how the play develops. But 95% of the time, he's not going to worry about that because he knows Patrick Surtain's going to shut it down. And I mentioned this, I believe, in my last week's show. Patrick Surtain reminds me so much of Champ Bailey. Absolutely reminds me of Champ Bailey. Champ Bailey was a shutdown corner. And Patrick Surtain is the exact same thing. And guess where Champ Bailey ended up in, guys? That's right, the Hall of Fame. Now, I'm not saying Patrick Surtain is a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's only in his second year. But if he continues to do what he's doing, the Broncos defense can be another no-fly zone part 2, like was mentioned in the show last week. I totally agree. Absolutely agree. It can be another no-fly zone. And it starts, in my opinion, with the best corner in the NFL in Patrick Surtain II. Absolutely. Starts right there. Okay. Let's see. Nephew says, drop the link. I'm not sure what that means, but you want to elaborate, then I appreciate it. Go for it. Let's see. Keith O'Donnell. Thank you, Keith, for being in the show. Really do appreciate it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and that would really benefit the channel. I really appreciate it. If you like what you see, you guys, you have the opportunity now to have super chats. So really appreciate it. Keith O'Donnell says, I agree. Hackett sucked. He was using kids' gloves on these guys. Absolutely, he's using kids' gloves. You can't do that. You can't be a leader and be soft. You can't. I mean, I'm a grandfather, and at times it's tough. It's tough to discipline my grandkids, but you have to do it because if you don't, then they're soft. And I'm not saying that, I'm not talking about punishment or anything like that. I'm just talking about, showing them the way that they should do things and do it correctly and do it responsibly. And that's the same thing you got to do as a head coach. You got to coach these guys. That's why they're called coaches, because you need to coach them along with how they're supposed to do things. And Hackett didn't do that. Hackett was basically, like I said earlier, it was a cupcake experience. It was a joke. It was absolutely a joke. And players were even mentioning that. They were even, saying things behind the back of that guy. It was just downright ugly. Things are totally different this year. Totally different. And here we go. This one, I'm going to move on. Okay, hang on a second. Nephew said, before I go, Russell Wilson, it's his fault. How can you say it's the coach's fault? You have to play as a quarterback and been playing for over a decade. You should know how to lead your team. Okay. To a point, yes, nephew, you make a good point. He does have to execute, and he does have to make the best choice and the best decision. But if the play is called from Hackett and wants a certain play run, and Russell Wilson looks at the defense and goes, this ain't going to work. And he tries to improvise and tries to do things outside of his ability, or outside of his, what's the word I'm looking for? Outside of his comfort zone. Well, then he's going to make mistakes. And that's the whole thing. I'm saying Sean Payton is going to put Russell Wilson in the best possible way to succeed. He's absolutely going to. He is not going to put Russell Wilson in a fail state. He's not. Now, there's going to be plays where it's going to break down. The defense does something different that they didn't actually see at the time. That's going to happen. But for the most part, Sean Payton is going to put Russell Wilson in the best possible play and situation to succeed. He's not going to put him in a situation where he's going to fail. In my opinion, and this is just my opinion, nephew, and I appreciate your comment and I respect it greatly. But in my opinion, um, Hackett didn't do that for Russell Wilson. He didn't put him in the best possible spot and best possible position to succeed. He didn't. Sure, there were games where he played well, but then again, you got to look at the teams they're playing against great teams like the Chiefs. I wouldn't say the Chargers are a great team, but they're a better team last year than the Broncos and even the Raiders. You look at those teams, and of course, they're going to be better than the teams that they played last year where they had success. So, well, albeit 5 games, but still, I just don't see Sean Payton having Russell Wilson in a bad situation. That's all I'm saying. But you're right. To a certain degree, you're right. Russell Wilson does have to execute the plays, and he does have to, put himself in a better situation. I'm not taking anything away from, Russell Wilson saying his injuries and stuff like that. Yes, those were a factor, but they were not the main factor, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but I don't think that the injuries were the main factor. All right. Keith O'Donnell says injuries also killed them last year as well. Yep, that's what I was saying. Injuries did come. I mean, you look at Tim Patrick. That hurt big time. You had Judy down for a while. You had Russell Wilson. Nobody could block anybody. Russell Wilson's getting slammed left and right every time he went back to pass or hand the ball off. It just seemed like they just couldn't get outside of their own shadow. So, yeah, there's a whole lot of things came into play last year. So hopefully come August 11th, our very first preseason game, we can put 2022 behind us and move forward and talk about positive things, hopefully, for the upcoming 2023 season. All right. Speaking of new things, the Denver Broncos on July 25th, they are going to unveil their, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. I don't want to see it. The Denver Broncos are going to unveil their new uniforms. There I said it. No. I don't want changes. I don't want the Broncos to change it. I love this uniform. I love the blue jerseys. I wish the all blues were their home jerseys. I really do. I love the all blues. They pop. The orange pops on the all blues. I love it. I know a lot of you guys out there want the old D back on the side of the helmet. No, I like this right here. And yes, the D is old school. Okay, it's old school. Well, guess what? A lot of things are old school. Horse and buggy is old school. We're not going back to that when we drive cars. No, we're going to electric cars. We're moving forward. Why go backwards? I've said this many, many times. Why are we going backwards? Okay, well, people say, yeah, but it just looks sharp. When was the last time the Broncos won a Super Bowl? Oh, they never have won a Super Bowl with that logo on the side of their helmet. So why change? Why go back to something that I know I've heard it many, many times from many, many people? The uniform and the logo doesn't mean you're going to win a Super Bowl or not going to win a Super Bowl. I'm not saying it's going to. I'm just saying that we haven't. Plain and simple. We haven't. We haven't won a Super Bowl with the orange jersey on. Nope. That hasn't happened either. We won Super Bowl 32 against the Packers with the blue jersey. We won Super Bowl 33 with the white jersey. And we won Super Bowl 50 with the white jersey. Not the orange. Okay? I'm just saying. I mean, facts are facts. Don't hold me accountable for being factual. I'm just giving you the truth. Do I like the orange jersey? Yes and no. I do like it, but I can't stand the orange rush. Oh no. Orange helmets, orange jersey, orange pants. No, I don't like it at all. Not one bit. I do like the orange jersey and the blue pants. I'll take that. But here's what they're talking about. You ready for this? Some think, going back to the new uniforms, some think it will be a combination of the dark and light blue as well as a white alternate helmet with the old school D logo. Okay. Okay, maybe I'll go with that as an alternate, not as the main helmet. Oh, no, 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 no. No, stick with the blue helmet, the royal blue helmet with this emblem, this logo on it. Okay. Not the royal blue with the D. I don't want to see that. But the alternate white helmet with the orange D. Okay, I can live with that. That seems pretty cool. I've kind of seen a little artistic drawing of that. I thought it would look pretty cool. Do I condone or want the dark blue mixed with the light blue? And no, I'm not going to say powder blue because that's synonymous with another team I don't want to talk about. So, do I want the light blue with the dark blue? Yeah, I think to some degree, if you had a couple of stripes, like down the side, maybe outside the orange stripe down the side. Let's say you had the blue jersey, you had a lighter blue down the side with the orange. I think that would look classy. I think that would look good. Same thing with the pants. I don't want a redesigned uniform. I don't. I like the way the orange comes down the side here and it comes down, nice and wide. I like the pants, how the orange curls around like towards the inside part of the knee. I like that. I think it looks sharp. And again, my favorite uniform combination is the all blues, the dark blue helmet, the dark blue jersey, and the dark blue pants. That's my favorite. Why? Because this orange. Look at the uniform. It looks spectacular. It looks awesome. I don't know. I'm not in favor. I'm really not in favor. Really not in favor of the new uniform changes. I haven't seen them, obviously, because they haven't been released to the public until the 25th of July. But on that date, we're all going to see what they're going to look like. And, we just have to go from there. I'm hoping it's not a drastic change. I don't want that. I don't want it. And yeah, maybe over time, if that's the case, then, obviously I'll have to get used to it. But no, I like the way the uniforms look now. And obviously, I'm not the owner of the team. I'm not the GM. I have no say in it. I'm just saying it here on my show because that's how I feel. I just don't like it. Nephew says, what's my Facebook? Actually, nephew, I'm not on Facebook. The reason why is it's just not one of my things. My wife is on Facebook, but it's just not one of my things. And but you can reach out to me on Twitter at Broncos Breakdown Broncos Breakdown. Look it up. It's the same emblem as you see here at the top of where it says Broncos Breakdown. That's the logo that you look for. You can hit me up on Twitter, and I really do appreciate it. Thanks so much. All right. Four former Hall of Fame semifinalists are as follows. The Denver Broncos have 4 semifinalists for consideration for the Hall of Fame. They are Mike Shanahan, Dan Reeves, Alex Gibbs, the late Alex Gibbs, and the late Dan Reeves, and Randy Gradishar. Okay, let me rank these guys according to how I feel their chances are of getting into the Hall of Fame this year coming up. All right, first and foremost, Mike Shanahan. Mike Shanahan should have been in the Hall of Fame a long time ago, a very long time ago. Why? None other reason than Super Bowl 32 and 33. He took the Broncos to back-to-back Super Bowls. That's not easy to do, guys. And not a whole lot of head coaches have done that. Yes, it's happened, I think, 6 or 7 times, maybe a little bit more. But it's not common. It's not common. We've had, how many Super Bowls we've had? 50. What was last Super Bowl? 55? 56? So it's not easy to go back-to-back. Mike Shanahan did it. And ironically, he did it against Dan Reeves, who's also considered to be a semifinalist for the Hall of Fame. So not only did Mike Shanahan win back-to-back Super Bowls, he did it against Dan Reeves, who was the Broncos head coach for numerous years. Going to many playoffs. And that's the reason. That's the reason why Dan Reeves is considered. Because Dan Reeves took the Broncos to many, many Super Bowls in his head coaching time. Unfortunately, he's not with us anymore. And same with Alex Gibbs. Alex Gibbs was a Broncos coordinator. And he was a great coordinator for all of those great Broncos defenses, the Orange Crush. He should be considered and he is considered to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Do I put Alex Gibbs ahead of Dan Reeves? Nope. You know who I'm not ahead of Dan Reeves? Yeah. Do you know who I put right behind Mike Shanahan? I put Randy Gradishar. Number 53, Randy Gradishar, middle linebacker for the Denver Broncos Orange Crush teams. He was the mainstay in the Broncos Orange Crush. He was electric. He was amazing at middle linebacker for the Broncos in that Orange Crush defense. Why hasn't Randy Gradishar been elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame? Why? I have no idea. And I'm not sure if the Hall of Fame committee would consider two Broncos going in to the Hall of Fame in the same year. But if they do, and then rightfully so, they should consider Mike Shanahan, definitely, and Randy Gradishar, without a doubt. Those two need to go into the Hall of Fame. And how cool would it be for Mike Shanahan to go in and his son, Kyle Shanahan, present him? How awesome would that be? That, to me, would be spectacular. One of these four need to go into the Hall of Fame. And in my opinion, two of them need to. Mike Shanahan and Randy Gradishar, hands down. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Dan Reeves, and I'm not taking anything away from Alex Gibbs. But what Mike Shanahan did for the Denver Broncos organization and for the city of Denver and the NFL, he needs to be in the Hall of Fame. And what Randy Gradishar did for the Denver Broncos and those Orange Crushes, sure, he did not win a Super Bowl, but that's irrelevant. It shouldn't be based on whether or not you win a Super Bowl. Dan Fouts of the Chargers is in the Hall of Fame. He never won a Super Bowl. So there's my point. You know, Gale Sayers never won a Super Bowl. He's in the Hall of Fame. There's my point. Shouldn't be based on that. It should be based on your merit and what you've done. And Randy Gradishar deserves recognition and be elected into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. That's all I'm saying. Hey, NFL committee, do the right thing. Do the right thing and put not only Mike Shanahan, but Randy Gradishar in the Hall of Fame where they rightfully deserve for what they have done in their NFL careers. Okay? Get it done and get it done right. All right. The last two topics of tonight's show. Really appreciate you guys sticking around. Means a lot. Thanks so much. Okay. The 2023 ESPYs from ESPN. Now, the only reason why I'm bringing this up is there's a couple of things on here that kind of rub me a little bit wrong way because I don't totally agree with it. Not necessarily the player, but the award. Okay, here we go. ESPN's ESPYs were handed out a few days ago, and I'm going to point out some of those awards. Best team, Kansas City Chiefs. All right, cannot deny that. Cannot deny that. They won the Super Bowl. How can you not say that they're not the best team? Okay, here we go. Second one, best comeback player, Jamal Murray. Absolutely, Jamal Murray of the 2023 NBA champion Denver Nuggets. Absolutely. Jamal Murray was just lights out, totally lights out in the playoffs and then in the finals. It was amazing. Jamal Murray, definitely a comeback player. All right. Best athlete, men's sports, Patrick Mahomes. Nope, I don't agree with that. Yeah, he may be the best quarterback in the NFL, but the best athlete? What? Does he play defense? Does he play special teams? Does he play offensive line? No. Does he swim? Does he play golf? You can't say he's the best athlete in a men's sport. You can't. He's a great athlete, no doubt about it. He's probably, in my mind, he's the best quarterback in the NFL. Best athlete. That covers every men's sports. Basketball, is he better than Jamal Murray? No. I bet he can't play like Jamal Murray. But then again, Jamal Murray can't play quarterback. So you can't say that Patrick Mahomes is the best athlete in a men's sport. You can't. That doesn't make sense. That's too broad. It doesn't, best quarterback, okay, I give you that. Okay, I give you that. But he's not the best athlete. Well, according to ESPN, ESPYs, I guess he is. Keith O'Donnell says he's the luckiest quarterback. Well, you got that right. Yeah, he's the luckiest quarterback by far. There's no doubt about that. But he's also talented. So you got to give him that. So is he the best talent? Again, I'm hang on. I'm going to get down to some of these. Best play goes to Justin Jefferson of the Vikings for the catch of the century. Oh, yeah, that was an amazing catch. I don't know how he made that catch. I really don't. I forget exactly how it happened. I think he was falling down or something. The ball hit him, and yeah, just amazing catch. Yeah, that one I agree with. Okay. Best NFL player, Patrick Mahomes? Seriously? Again? Hang on a second. Best athlete in a men's sport and best NFL player. Again, he doesn't play linebacker. He doesn't play, special teams. He doesn't play, running back. He doesn't play kicker, field goal kicker. Best NFL player? No. Maybe best NFL quarterback. Okay, I'll give you that, ESPN, but not the best NFL player. What are you basing it on? The fact that he's a great quarterback and makes these ridiculous throws that somehow find the receiver's hands. Okay. Yeah, he is a phenomenal quarterback. No question about it. I'm not saying he's not, but the best NFL player based on what? He didn't get any sacks on any quarterbacks. How about the guys out there that got 10, 12, 15 sacks? Can't you consider them one of the best? Now think about this. The players who make quarterback sacks, they have to go through somebody to get to the quarterback. And most of the time, it's more than just one player they got to get past. That to me would mean more as a best NFL player, because it's harder to get to the quarterback, especially when the quarterback's moving, and you have to go through a line of people that are trying to keep you from getting to the quarterback. How about a punt return? A guy who catches a ball, with somebody right in his face, eludes that player and gains 30, 40 yards or maybe even a touchdown. So how can you say, ESPN, that Patrick Mahomes is the best NFL player? Again, I'm not taking anything away from him. I'm just saying, I just don't feel he's the best NFL player. And best NFL quarterback? Okay, I will give you that. But that's not what this award says. All right. Best NBA player. You got it, guys. The Joker. Jokic. Absolutely, hands down. No doubt about it. Jokic is the best NBA player. Not Stephon Murray. No. Jokic. The guy is amazing. Absolutely amazing. That one they nailed. The one about the best NFL player? No. But Jokic, the best NBA player? Absolutely. Why? Because he shoots the ball. He plays defense. See, things that Patrick Mahomes doesn't do. Patrick Mahomes doesn't play defense. Jokic does. Jokic plays defense. He plays offense. And in some cases, I guess, if you want to just stretch the thought, he plays special teams. And what I mean by that is he assists. He passes the ball off to his other teammates so that they can score, that they can do, the correct play and make the correct play. So Jokic is the best NBA player. Patrick Mahomes, not, in my opinion, the best NFL player. All right. And then wrapping up the awards that I touched on, the Pat Tillman Award goes to the Buffalo Bills training staff for how they handled the whole situation in the incident with the Buffalo Bills player at Cincinnati. That one I totally agree with. Hands down, the Buffalo Bills training staff does and well-deserved the Pat Tillman Award. All right, guys, we are going to the very last topic. And before I get to that, I want to emphasize what Clayton says. Clayton Huron says, smash that like button and share, guys. Absolutely. And if you feel so inclined, hit that button for a super chat. I will appreciate it. The network will appreciate it. And you guys will be supporting the network as well. Clayton also says, evening, bud. Evening, Clayton. Glad to have you in the house as always. Appreciate it. And one more thing, Clayton says, I'm telling you guys, look out for Russ this year. Fire, baby, about 4,000 passing, 30-ish passing touchdowns, rushing yards of 500 yards, and TDs about 10. Okay. You know what, Clayton? I'll take that all day long. If that happens, then Russell Wilson is Russell Wilson again. And it points to my fact that I said it's all about the coaching staff. You have to have great coaches to get great production. It's just like in anything. You have to have great coaches in anything in life. You have to have great parents that will teach you correctly to do the right thing in life. Or you end up, I'm not going to say that. But anyways, you don't end up being what you could have been. Same with coaching. Same with everything. Clayton also says, and over 85 rating this year. I'll take that too. I think he'll definitely be over that. Under Sean Payton, I mean, he even could be, in excess of 90, 95 rating. I'm not going to hold anything back on him. I mean, Sean Payton gets the best out of his players. Look what he did with Drew Brees. He put Drew Brees right in line to be a Hall of Famer when he was nowhere near being a Hall of Famer in San Diego. And again, it goes back to coaching. And Sean Payton knows how to get the best out of his players. All right. Very last topic, guys. This is a feel-good topic. And I know it's not football related, but it is Colorado related. It's the Rockies. And the Rockies get snubbed a lot. The Rockies, no one really talks about them because, after all, they're not really that good. Something great happened this past week involving a Rockies player. And I just want to, end the show with a feel good. And this is really a feel good topic. Here it is. Elias Diaz became the first catcher in Rockies franchise history to be named an all-star, and he made the best of being an all-star. He hit the game-winning 2-run homer and was named the All-Star Game's MVP. He is the first Rockies player to ever win that award of MVP in an All-Star game. Congratulations to Elias Diaz. What an remarkable, I don't know if you guys saw it. If you didn't, go back on YouTube and look for it. Look for Elias Diaz All-Star game home run, game-winning home run. I believe it was either in the 7th inning or the 8th inning. I want to say more the 7th. I want to say the 7th. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. He hits the home run. He's the first ever, Rockies player to win MVP, and he was a unanimous winner of the MVP award in the All-Star game. That, to me, that's the kind of stuff I like to see. That's the kind of stuff that I totally enjoy seeing. I'm not a big, All-Star fan, baseball, because I'm a Cubs fan, and, Cubs didn't do, they only had 2 guys there. But I like the Rockies too. I really do like the Rockies. And I'm just so happy for a young guy like that, young kid like that, to be in the spotlight, to do something that nobody's ever done on the Rockies before. And he becomes the first player ever to do so, and the first catcher to ever appear in an All-Star game representing the Colorado Rockies. Congratulations to Elias Diaz once again for being MVP of the 2023 Major League Baseball All-Star Game. That's it, guys. That's all I have. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you have not, please do so. Please hit the like Clayton said, smash the like button and share with your friends, your family, your enemies. I don't care. Share it with anybody. The show wouldn't be what the show is without every single one of you participating every single week. I really, really do appreciate it. It means tremendous amount. Absolutely does. I want to give out a shout out to all those in the chat. Avatar, thank you so much for always being in here. You always bat lead off. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much. Graham, appreciate that. Madungus Creevy, thanks so much again for your super chat. I appreciate it. Robert Marino, my nephew, thanks again for your topics and your comments. Appreciate it. Go down to nephew. Thanks again for chiming in. I really appreciate it. Keith O'Donnell, obviously appreciate it. Thanks so much. Clayton Haran, everybody in the super chat, everybody in the chat, greatly appreciate it. Thanks again so much, guys. It means the world to me. Like I said before, the show would not be the same without every single one of you in chat and for your comments. Until next Friday, guys, you know the lineup on the MHRT network. There's a Monday Avalanche podcast. It's the Cluster Puck. Tuesday's a 5280, followed by the No Nonsense of Whiskey. Wednesday is the Wild Wild West. We also have Orange and Brew. I think that's on Thursday. And just appreciate every single one of you guys, checking in on any one of the shows that you want. And then again on next Friday, my birthday, by the way, next Friday, July 21st, is going to be the show again, live, 5 p.m. I hope to see all you guys there and celebrate my birthday with me. It would be a great way to celebrate, to see every single one of you guys there. All right. In the meantime, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And until next Friday, have a great weekend. We will talk to you then. Take care. Bye-bye.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.